The Paluxy River, a small meandering river that passes through Dinosaur Valley State Park, which is more famous for the ancient footprints that lie within the river bottom than for the water that actually flows over them. It is a place that our family swims in summer and explores throughout the rest of the year. It is a place my two boys, now 6 and 9, have been coming to their entire lives. Although we've been camping their entire lives, backpacking altogether is a newer adventure for us. But I've quickly discovered some truths. Backpacking with my boys means taking extra breaks, eating extra snacks, or taking extra time to explore the woods around the trail. And sometimes things don't always go as planned, especially when trying to backpack and make a YouTube video at the same time. But as where I backpack alone, the top of some distant mountain is my goal. It's the joys of just being outdoors together that make backpacking with my boys so special, no matter how far from home we are.
So here we are at campsite number 7. Got here after about 3.5 miles, and this is where we stayed last year when we all came backpacking at Dinosaur Valley, and then Caden and I stayed here 2 years ago when we stayed about this same time of year. We are all staying in hammocks tonight, and I'm going to set up from that tree there on the right to the one there on the left, and then hook theirs from that same one that was on my left, and then to one of those ones back there in the back, so our tarps will be end to end. And then we got another nice little table somebody built, which has been a common theme because my boys have built little furniture out here the last couple times we were at this site also. This is a really nice site here at Dinosaur Valley, back away from all the other sites, and it's kind of back in the back corner of the park. So this is the one I like coming to, especially when I'm with my family. So let's get our hammocks set up and relax for a little bit. Got our camp set up for the night. Got the boys' double hammock back there under the War Bonnet Cloudburst tarp, and then I have the War Bonnet Ridge Runner under a Cuban fiber tarp that I just got. It's a 12-foot Dutchware Cuban fiber tarp, and I bought it secondhand from somebody. And I know you're not supposed to do this, but I got out here, had never set it up before, and the guy lines that the person I bought it from had put on there are real short, and I like to pitch my tarps out wide, kind of like those over there, and you can see how long the guy line is, that yellow line coming towards us. I like really long guy lines, so it'll work if it was to rain all of a sudden, but we have a 0% chance of rain for tonight. So I got it up there in those snake skins, ready to deploy if I need to, but other than that, I got a little work to do on it. And so yeah, that's camp. So a little closer up of my hammock setup. That's my down jacket, and it's definitely not going to be cold enough for a down jacket, but that's the lightest insulating layer I have, and so I brought that. I think the low for tonight's like 50 or 51. That's just a cheap air up pillow, and that's typically what I use, and I'll throw that down between my legs because most of the time I don't need any sort of pillow in the Ridge Runner. I brought 2 of the cheap Costco, I think they're black diamond or double diamond or something like that, quilts. They're like $20 a piece. The reason I brought 2 is I'm a little bit too big for those, and so brought one just to help with any sort of drafts. And then I am using a pad tonight that's a large 25-inch wide Big Agnes SLX pad, and I brought that because it's not going to be too cold tonight. And honestly, my underquilt is probably the same weight or a little bit lighter. I really can't remember what it weighs. I have the Ridge Creek from Arrowhead Equipment, but I brought the pad because it packs up smaller. And if you saw my pack in any of the shots of us walking in, it was stuffed full because I have to carry some of the boys' insulating layers and things like that. There you can see the boys' hammock setup, and that's the Eno spreader bars we have on each end. Those have worked great the entire time we've had them. It's 2 War Bonnet Eldorado hammocks with 2 Arrowhead Equipment Jarbidge quilts underneath, and then one of the boys is using my Go Light top quilt, and the other one is using Olivia's Go Light sleeping bag, and that's pretty much all the insulating layers we have. So think now that the boys are old enough to start backpacking, it's time for us to invest in some more quilts. Anyway, the sun is getting close to going down. The boys are using their new pocket knives, carving sticks and doing things that boys do, and you can see we got just a little bit of light left. Tonight we are having quesadillas. I brought in some chicken and cheese and butter and a little tiny skillet, and we're gonna fry that up or grill it, whatever you call it, and I think that'll be really good. And then we have a small dessert for each of us, and just gonna hang around and I guess listen to the crows. We're gonna make up some quesadillas for all of us, and then afterwards we're all gonna drink some of this bourbon. I'm just kidding, this is just for me. That's good, dude. What do y'all think?
It's really good. Yeah, it's really hot in the middle.
The tortilla just barely does fit.
Yeah. How much bites have you taken? 1.5. Get ready.
Well, so far the quesadillas have been a big hit, and there's mine cooling off a little bit. I've already broken into the bourbon, and the boys are just about done with their quesadillas. The boys are having cherry candy canes for dessert, and my dessert is bourbon. That's Maker's Mark, by the way, and the Texas size Millionaire, the greatest dessert of all time. So I know everybody else, Snickers is a big deal. Millionaires, that's the way to my heart, and anytime I can have Maker's Mark or any other good bourbon, I'm definitely in on that also. Well, good morning, everybody. The sun is just now coming up, and I can see a few rays of sunlight coming through the campsite, so hopefully we'll be warming up pretty quick. It got down colder than what I thought it was last night. It got down to about 45, and I was a little bit cold, but I think the boys stayed pretty warm in their hammocks. Already got their tarp taken down, and Caden's hammock and all his stuff taken down. He's laying over here in my hammock, and yeah, we're about to have some breakfast, just something super easy, Pop-Tarts and granola bars and things like that. And then I'm going to heat us up some coffee and hot chocolate once we actually get up out of the hammocks and get warm. But for now, they're going to enjoy their Pop-Tarts from the hammock. You awake yet? The boys are having their hot chocolate and just got ready, and we got most everything except for my actual hammock packed up. And very unfortunate for us, the sun, as soon as it started coming up, it got cloudy out there, so we still haven't got any sunshine. It's been pretty cold here at the campsite, so we're warming up with this hot chocolate. You can see all our stuff exploded back there on the ground, and we're gonna pack that up right before we leave and drink this stuff and then head out, try to get warmed up on trail.
We began our 3-mile hike back out to the truck. The clouds and cold morning air had gotten the boys ready to be back in the warmth of home. But soon the boys' spirits visibly rose as the rays of morning sun made their way through the trees to warm us up. And as the saying goes, no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. And as my boys and I rock hop our way across the Paluxy River for what seems like the 100th time in their young lives, I can't help but think about how much they change and grow every day. And I hope that even these small overnight camping trips, only a half hour from home, will leave lasting memories for each of them, and that one day they'll share the same sorts of experiences with their children and think back on our trips across the Paluxy together.